So, you want to learn how to trade with Vex? Well, you've come to the right place if you want to learn how to do stuff like this. Right, and now she used her abilities. I'm just gonna try. And she's dead. Oh my god, we played that perfectly, bro. We played that perfectly. And this. Alright, what I want to do here is I want to look for an all-in. Nice, we got her. Pretty good. And this.
You know what,
Get shit on, kid. Then stick around and let's kick it off with the ranged matchups. Ideally, you want to have Vex as your counter pick unless you're a Vex main like myself. And ideally you want to be picking her into melee matchups because those are the ones Vex really excels in. Right, but for the range matchups, ideally you just want to be sitting a bit further back, dodging their annoying long range poke. Now, versus your Orianas, Zeraths, Luxes, just everything that can harass you from far away, like they're not even on your screen, far away type shit. So quite literally against them, you just want to be on your A dodging game, A level dodging game, A game of dodging, whatever, and tether perfectly so they whiff their abilities. You have a small window to go in, grab a few last hits, maybe trade onto them, and then rinse and repeat until you're safe and clear. You have your Ludens, you're able to one-shot a wave and then implement your playstyle of pushing a wave and then moving to the side. Here are some examples. Just want to space it and then look for a nice little trade. Same with Syndra. Her Q is on a very low cooldown. It does a lot of damage. We just want to space it, right? Again, we want to space the Syndra as best as we can. Yes, we do. Nice, guys. So electrocute, and then trading with them when they come up for last hits. Right, the reason I don't go forward, I don't click towards her to get that last auto attack for the electrocute proc is because she has her passive up. And you gotta be mindful of those things like an Ari charm, like a Syndra QE. You just want to be aware of those things, like just even any form of retaliatory damage that they can throw back at you. It's just not worth it in some of those cases because they quite frankly do a lot of damage. So right now we get a nice EQ onto her, we do so much damage and we basically get hit with nothing in return, whereas if we walked up we're going to get stunned, she was going to proc electrocute and the trade suddenly wouldn't be looking so good for us. When they use spells on the wave, or you dodge their spells, again because of the fear we were able to do so much damage to them. Look at that trade. Look at that trade. It's not even comparable. She doesn't even get to proc electrocute because of the delay between her auto attacks, Qs, and her final auto. It's just a really good trading pattern that you really need to learn to abuse, especially early on when some of these mages don't have that much damage and they can't spam their abilities that often. Or if they just step too far up and you're just able to fear them and do a bunch of damage that they just cannot return because they're feared. Love that mechanic, by the way. Again, what Iron does here is right. She's walking up to punish me on my last hit. It's just the timing she chose is wrong. It's a cannon wave and she walks too far up, meaning we get to punish her very confidently. It's just what we do. Right, so the melee matchups is where it gets really interesting. So they are melee, and they're going to have to walk up to the wave in order to last hit, and then try and get close to you in order to harass you. So what we can do in those instances is just constantly be poking them with auto attacks. can, in some of those shorter range melee matchups,
I mean,
we
he
can
can't really play the game now.
quite comfortable in just harassing them and preventing them from getting any last hits. Just because of how oppressive our auto E auto is.
We can just zone in.
Yes, we can. Boom. Be poking them with our E. This is something that you can do versus the Wind Brothers, right? Every time they try to walk up to skewer the melee minions, because that's something that they like to do early on level 1, you can just line up your fear and you get a nice little proc onto them. Punishing them just randomly, throwing out Silas Chains or Qs on the wave, or just Yone spells on the wave, like just for no reason to last hit. This is something that I see so often, right? Like, it's just criminal the amount of times I've seen players just randomly try and use their spells to last hit and farm, as opposed to trading with the enemy player. If you see someone use their key spells like their shield, their dash, anything really, it gives you the opportunity to trade, and you're not really going to get traded on because their stuff is going to be on cooldown. So quite literally, if you learn to abuse these timers and these mistakes, you're going to climb so much higher than you currently are, I promise you.
Right. Okay.
There he just uses his shield, and now he doesn't have shield, and he can't trade back onto me.
Managed to get the proc.
And we want to establish control of that wave, keep harassing them every time they try and come up to last hit, so that we can just push them under tower and take away all of their resources. By sacking 2 waves and crashing it under tower, we can just harass them there, keep them there, and they just get to miss all of this basically. And if I was the Zed, I'd be extremely sad. So you just gotta be aware of what you can do. And now because he's very low, we're trying to go for that play. We managed to outplay the scenario, and we get out. And then by putting these concepts together, you get an early game that looks something like this.
Right. Let's look in. We punish last hits and auto attacks.
And then at some point they're just gonna become very angsty, like they're just gonna want to jump in on you, because that's what assassins do, right? At some point their ADHD brains can't handle it any longer, and they're gonna try and jump onto you and one-shot you, right? But if you had been poking them down consistently, when they go in, they're gonna be they're gonna be very low, and if they go in, you can just kill them. And that's quite literally what you're meant to do versus these creatures. You're just supposed to establish an early HP lead, so that if they go in, we're able to just retaliate, survive their initial burst, and then trade back the kill, or just get a kill without trading it back. But yeah, just get a kill. That's it. And then here you want to play a bit safe, because we don't know where Nida is.
So we gotta be slightly careful. Of getting ganked here.
Boom.
And what we do now is we just hit a reset.
Now, here's a bit of fun info that you get when you read low wiki, and I'm gonna share it with you guys because it's actually really interesting stuff, and it can help and change the way you play Vex. It all has to do with her passive. I know it's a lot of text on the screen, but let's just focus on this little bit for now. And what it says is that the enemies are hit for 0.5 second fear, 1 second 1.25, and then 1.5 based on level. If you look at this here, oh no, sorry, it's here. This is the duration of the fears and the levels on which it increases. So prior to level 6, you don't really have the opportunity to flush WEQ someone to do a bunch of damage, because there's a bunch of cast times and projectile travel times that we're not taking into consideration, and it is very likely that they'll just be able to flash or dash out of it. The second important thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that the slow increases based on how far away they are. So if you hit them with your E from very far away, you'll be able to walk up to them, get that auto attack, or just hit them with EQ from a distance, walk up, get that auto attack, and then disengage. So quite literally, it is just something that's very interesting and good to know. And then here I did a little calculation for you guys. This is the fear cooldown on your passive, and you get 25% back when you hit a champion or you proc a stack, proc a mark, and then you get 25% of it back. So on level 1, that's going to be 6.25 seconds from 25. Level 6 is 5.5. Level 11 is, yeah, you can figure out the rest on your own. But yeah, it's very interesting, and it can help you make some of those outplays where you're so reliant on your fear, and in a team fight you just want to be getting as many of these procs as possible so you can get as many fears off as possible. So yeah guys, this is my second Vex guide. I really hope you learned something, and I hope you can implement these strategies so that you can win more games. If you ever want to learn more about Vex, see some cool outplays, stop by my Twitch channel. I stream there daily, and if you drop by, it's going to be a ride, it's going to be a blast, and I'll show you what you can expect on there. I want to be somewhere to the side. We're looking for a potential That's what we do, bro. That's what we fucking do, man. It's just what we do. Hit him with it, bro. Just hit him with it. Yeah, so on that note, I really hope to see some of you guys there live, and yeah, all the best. Bye.